than in Japan. Basically, yeah, it's I gotta say it's easier doing these games up close and personal because the stream will buffer that I have to record off of.
Yeah.
And there are times I miss like the ends of at bats, or even sometimes full at bats. But
Really?
yeah, technical things I got to deal with. Let's see if I can actually probably another outlet somewhere.
One right here.
Here, should my pictures reach out?
Nobody's reading that.
Yeah. The thing does not want to go up there yet.
Oh shoot! I got my phone in my car. Oh, go back in games.
Yep.
Nothing ever happens anyway.
Exactly. It's always like, oh, something gonna happen. Just, it never does. As long as you make sure you lock it.
But
That's
today, my phone rang at 7:45 this morning. So
Yeah.
I have to alert and leave a message. If I eventually get up, it's my credit union saying we have found some suspicious activity on your debit card.
oh, that's not good.
This has already happened to me twice since October. So I checked on it. Apparently, I tried to book a flight on Algiers this morning.
Interesting.
In Algeria. And they thought that was odd since I was in Palm Harbor, Florida last night.
It was a pretty safe guess to assume that was odd.
So they denied the transaction.
That's good.
I had to cancel my card,
Then you gotta, go
run
through
to the
that.
credit union. But now I'm going to get all these things over the next couple of weeks because I've tied my card to it.
Exactly.
I'm like, how does this happen? So like today I went to Subway, I paid cash. So I'm going to just pay cash on these cheap, chintzy little transactions. Because I think that's where they're getting it. But that's 3 times since October. 2 of them, I was booking a ferry ride in Spain.
Interesting. I'll say though that's interesting because it signifies it's probably the same people doing it. Because again, you don't just book the same ferry ride twice in a row. And Algiers is close enough to Spain where it's like, yeah, that's probably in that region.
But how are they? It's got to be like more than likely from what I hear. It's gas stations, fast food joints, and so forth.
It could be like if it's connected to an online account too. That could be another thing. Like,
What do you mean by that? If I'm paying by
if it's like depending on like the bank you use, if you have like a website account with them, maybe it could be something along those lines.
And I've got a couple automatic payments. I've been doing those for years. It almost always seems to happen after I go to a McDonald's or a gas station. So I guess I'll have to. Then I changed my PIN the last time, thinking that they're like, no, your PIN doesn't have those things.
Because yeah, PIN will help if they want to directly take out cash, but
Yeah.
that's just going to be even more suspicious.
Yeah. Or maybe when they made this, tried to buy the flight and asked for a PIN and they didn't know it, so they avoided it.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's like,
At the very least, you're able to sort of quickly recover it.
yeah.
'Cause the worst part would be if, like, all of a sudden $20,000 of stuff is getting spent and there is no warning.
I mean, they're pretty good at it. Everything they've caught has been like, as soon as it happened,
Yeah, and that's good.
they deny the transaction, call me.
I've recently been getting a trillion spam texts from like, oh, your Netflix account has been locked and things like that.
I've been getting those too. Not necessarily that one.
Yeah, and yeah, I think a few other apps alongside it.
We had a phone call the other day. My wife was like, I know you do the Publishers Clearinghouse once in a while. I'm like, yeah. Well, we got a phone call from, it sounds like Publishers Rewards says we won $15 million and a new car.
Oh, 15 billion?
Or million. Only million. Only million.
Wow, lucky day.
And all I had to do was call this number and
And then it's like, oh, yep, no, it's definitely a scam.
So you didn't have anybody? Did you have Ronaldo here with you yesterday?
Yes, so Ronaldo's driving me good to go back today as well.
Boy, they kicked butt though yesterday. They kicked butt.
They did. It was actually probably one of our better wins this season.
I don't know. I was on the Eckerd website last night just getting some stats. They have this history page of rivalries. I don't know if you were aware of this. Look at the big ad on.
Oh yeah.
Tampa's just dominated.
Yeah. Here's interesting though.
At
They're
one
better
point,
at winning
won
at
37. Oh yeah, they
Yeah, they're better at winning at UT than Eckerd. They only won one game at home against us.
And at one point, Tampa won 37 straight games. Something like that. Like, are you kidding?
I mean, I was looking at some of the stats for like volleyball and a few of the other sports, and Tampa's like they had like a 101 like record against one of the teams. But let me see if we can find it really quickly because it was hilarious when they brought it up on like the street.
I mean, that would have to be like a conference team, right? If they
Yeah.
played that many games.
Yeah, it's like in the Sunshine State Conference, and it's just like hilariously uncompetitive. Let's see. My sword now. Barry's our best opponent in the Sunshine State Conference. We're 59-20 and 1 against them.
That's volleyball.
Yep, we recently lost because they swept us for the first time in 3 years in the playoffs. Oh yeah, this is great. Eckerd, 98-3.
I thought Eckerd had decent teams.
They're not a bad team. We're just a little better at volleyball. Actually, Florida Southern's a good matchup for us. We're 80-56 against them. Oh, but then you're Florida Tech going 91-0.
91-0.
Yep. We haven't lost since 1975.
They never lost.
We've never lost to Florida Tech.
Wow.
When this has started recording, and that started recording from 1975, so it's probably better than some of the ones that started in the 80s and 90s. Lynn, we're 48-4 with a 4-game winning streak. Somehow we faced New Haven 13 times and went 11-2. 37-4 against Nova Southeastern. All 4 of the losses have come within like the last 3 years. So for about 20 years or so, we've been pretty much undefeated. Oh, and then Rollins, 98-6.
And they typically play those teams once a year, right? Unless they
Twice.
Twice?
Yep.
They do a home and home?
Yeah, home and road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 2023. Taking a look at 2022. It went 29-4, just a little weaker than last season. Had a great start, then lost to Eckerd, then lost to Barry, and yeah, we lost to Nova early.
Did you get pronunciations yesterday?
Yeah, I've got.
How's the one kid pronounce his name? Jello?
I was doing Gelwick. Let me see. Is it? No.
Does he play?
Yeah, he's their leadoff. But I think it's Gelwick. Because I think as well, like if they don't include it on the sheet, they must think it's simple enough to like that people can kind of get it on their own.
Tampa's
so.
like the only team that does pronunciation.
Yeah. I see other teams include them on the list, but
Yeah. Oh, they didn't put him on
Yeah.
the list. Okay, so we'll go with, yeah, Gelwick is really talented.
they even include Muzio on the list when that's pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
And it's a shame he's not playing today. He actually did a pretty good job yesterday. 3rd inning, line drive, Eckerd makes a diving catch. 6th inning, or 5th inning, line drive, Eckerd jumping catch.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spaulding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spaulding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
us up lacrosse one time too. They started playing a song right as it actually was about to begin, or like when it started, like the first verse, like, and you could hear the lyrics on the song behind. So it was kind of embarrassing. It was so weird.
And welcome everybody to University of Tampa baseball as the Spartans get ready to take on the Eckerd Tritons. Game 2 of a 3-game series. This is game 1 of a Saturday doubleheader. Hi everybody, Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy, and welcome to the campus of the University of Tampa. Tampa winning yesterday 12-2, the final score. Taylor, you saw some fireworks in that game yesterday.
There certainly was. A lot of offense, a few home runs alongside it. Both teams had a decent day at the plate, but Tampa just a lot better. 17 hits, one of the highest totals we've had this season. And an overall near perfect game for the Spartans. The only blemish came with Michael Paul's 5th inning, giving up a leadoff hit and then a 2-run shot from Ballard. Those were the first 2 hits of the Tritons ball game. They're going to be looking for a rebound in game 2 today.
Alex Canny will be on the mound for the Spartans. Blockman will be on the mound for Eckerd. The standings right now in the Sunshine State Conference, as you see the Spartans taking the field. Tampa in first place, 17-2 on the year, 28-7 overall after 35 games. Rollins lurking right behind, though. Rollins came in here a few weeks ago and took 2 out of 3 from Tampa, and they are at 15-3. Florida Southern at 11-5. St. Leo is at 9-7. Berry at 10-9. Those are the only teams above 500 in the conference. And then Eckerd at 5-11, 16-16 overall on the season. So we get ready for a weekend of baseball. The starting lineups for today's game. Let me get my lineups here. Leading off will be the center fielder, number 18, and that is Cam Gelwick, a freshman from Pinellas Park, Florida. Batting second is the shortstop, number 7, Michael Ballard, one of the top hitters in the conference, a sophomore from Lake Mary, Florida. Batting third is number 4, the left fielder, Tyler Cox, a junior from Winfield, West Virginia. Batting cleanup is the third baseman, number 3, Kyle Abbott, a junior from Stewart, Florida. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 25, Jake Andrioli. He is a sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana. Batting sixth, number 9, the right fielder, Cam Collier, a junior from St. Petersburg, Florida. Batting seventh is the DH, number 26. 26 is Kyle Erickson, a junior from Palm Harbor, Florida. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 34, Gunnar Woolmer, a sophomore from Parrish, Florida. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 6, Joe Wyke, a sophomore from Liverpool, New York. Canny on the mound for the Spartans. First pitch to Gelwick, a little bit inside and high for a ball. Gelwick 372 on the year, 377 on the year, fouls that one back.
Gilwick had a rough day yesterday. Even though he did get the first hit of the game for the Tritons, he also struck out 3 times.
Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Canny, even though nobody on and he's starting, pitching out of the stretch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 4 Ks for the weekend for Gilwick.
Yeah, definitely not the start you want to a weekend series like this. He'll have a chance at his next at-bat to turn it around. And also, Eckerd have a chance with this player to get some offense on the board early.
Michael Ballard to the plate. .410 batting average. And that average doesn't even lead the conference. Strike call.
When you take a look at that average, you think how it doesn't lead the conference. It kind of shows you how many good hitters there are here in the Sunshine State Conference. So it's crazy when you're hitting over 400 and you're not one of the not like a top 2 in the conference.
Strike 2, and you say Jack. Who is leading the conference?
That's a good question. Who is?
Jordan Lala at 429 for Tampa, followed by E.J. Cumbo at 428. Ballard is 4th at 410. One of 7 players hitting over 400 in Sunshine State Conference play. Number 7 is J.D. Urso for Tampa at 401. So Tampa with 3 of the top 7 hitters, all of them hitting over 400. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball heading out to Urso. Couple hops, quick throw to Drew Ehrhardt for the out. Give us a chance to set the Spartans defensively for you with Canny on the mound. Danny Gutcher is behind the plate. Drew Ehrhardt over to first base. Nico Saladino is at second base. Anthony Nunez at third. J.D. Urso at short. Jamarcus Lyons in left. Jordan Lala in center. E.J. Cumbo in right. Ground ball, Urso. And a 1-2-3 inning. Spartans are out of it. 3 up, 3 down. Nobody on base. We go to the bottom of the first. The Spartans will send up Lala, Ehrhardt, Urso. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the first we go. Starting lineups for Tampa. The batting order today, number 8, Jordan Lala will be leading off, a senior from Tampa. Batting second, number 2, first base, is Drew Ehrhardt, a grad student from Tampa. Batting third is number 11, J.D. Urso, a sophomore from Tampa. Batting fourth, number 19, E.J. Cumbo, a junior from East Meadow, New York. Batting fifth, number 9, is Anthony Nunez, and he is a sophomore from Hialeah, Florida. Batting 6-0, Jamarcus Lyons, a junior from Tampa. Batting 7th is number 14, Santiago Garavito, a sophomore from Plantation, Florida. Batting 8th is number 10, and that is Nico Saladino, a sophomore from Valrico, Florida. And batting ninth is number 27, the catcher, Danny Gutcher, a sophomore from Tampa. More than half the starting lineup, Tampa products.
Tampa knows how to recruit from Tampa, and it's led to good results. And just taking a look at some of those starters from Gutcher and others.
I think that tells you a lot about the quality of baseball at the high school level around here. Lala sees one outside. They're playing a little bit in at third. Lala's been known to lay one down.
Yeah, he didn't do a bunt yesterday, but definitely has the speed to do so, so you got to stay ready. It was more Drew Eckerd who was laying bunts down as Lala singles to left field.
Just put it between third and short, and Jordan Lala with that humongous .429 batting average will get it into the 430s. Drew Eckerd coming to the plate.
You mentioned dropping a bunt down. This is what I think Eckerd will do here. He did so last time and actually got on base when he did it in the previous game. I think he was 1 for 2 on those bunt attempts.
They're hedging a little. He shows bunt. Runner goes anyway. Throw's going to be high and easily into second as Lala. He had a good jump.
Not a surprise to see Lala quick on the base paths. Number 26 for his stolen base count on the season.
Only Jose Cadenas has double digits after Lala, and he's at 10. Drew shows bunt again, though if he's doing that, he's more than likely bunting for the hit. Drew probably loves it when Lala steals because he says, good, now I don't have to sacrifice.
Or you can sacrifice and now get him 90 feet from home.
Yeah, that's not typically what Joe Urso will do, but we'll see. Eckerd, 342 average on the year. Believe it or not, the Spartans team average is 342. Who'd think Drew Eckerd was an average hitter?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. You see a 342 average. It's, oh, no, it's just about team average. And you see even lower players like Dosco and Cadenas who are hitting over 320, but no, they're below the team average.
Yeah. I guess when you've got three players hitting over 400 and they've had 100 and almost 50 at-bats,
yeah,
that keeps it up there at a pretty lofty number.
Certainly makes it tricky for the rest of the team to remain on average.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch, Lala on second. Inside will go full. On deck, J.D. Urso. By the way, Jordan Lala with a .552 on base percentage.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday, and it's just wild to think about getting on base half the time.
Yeah.
Especially as a leadoff hitter who's
Yep.
dangerous on the base paths.
Yep.
It's just scary because you have a 50% chance he gets on base, and from there, probably a 50% chance he's going to steal a base.
Yes.
So
automatic double.
even though you can walk him, maybe you give up a bloop single on an error, well, he's getting to second or maybe even third if he's feeling a little bit risky.
Eckerd stays alive with a couple foul balls. Talking about Lala, 31 walks on the year already. No one else on the team. The next highest is J.D. Urso at 17.
With those 31 walks, he only has 24 strikeouts, meaning he's got better discipline than striking out, which is a rare quality to have from a hitter. So really just so good to have a player like Lala on a team.
3-2 again. Fly ball. Left center. Cruising over is Gelwick, who makes the catch. Lala will stay. One down. J.D. Urso to the plate.
Jack, you had mentioned that Urso, 7th in the conference in terms of his batting average, but for the Spartans, leads in almost every other stat.
Yeah.
He's not going to beat Lala's .552 on base percentage,
No.
but he has a .621 slugging that is better than the second-place Cumbo's .621, and he also has 10 more RBIs than Cumbo.
Wow. That usually tells you Lala and Eckerd are getting on base.
It certainly does, and even if Eckerd doesn't get on base, you'll more often than not see Lala there, so plenty of prime run-batted opportunities for Urso, and, well, he knows how to convert them.
Yes. Just misses the corner. 1-1 with one out. Spartans winning yesterday's game Taylor, you and I were going through some of the historical stats against Eckerd, and just very, very one-sided in Tampa's favor.
Yeah, I mean, for some sports, you'll see Tampa with pretty ludicrous winning percentages over different conference rivals and teams.
Well, you mentioned a volleyball team. They're 98-0.
Yeah, I think that's, I believe, what the record was for Tampa against Florida Tech. And I know for Eckerd, they only had a handful of wins against the Spartans ever. In terms of baseball, the Spartans are 58-7. The good news for Eckerd is that 6 of those wins came here at Tampa's home field, as this will be out number 2 if the play can be made. Yes, it will.
Okay, nice play by Stockman to get over.
But as I was mentioning, Eckerd does a lot worse at home when the Spartans are visiting. They've only had one ever win defending their home turf against the Spartans.
Will Stockman with 2 outs now on the mound for Eckerd at 4.73 ERA, 2-3 on the season. This is appearance number 9 on the year, and his 9th start as well. 32 and a third innings pitched at this point. 31 hits, 21 runs, I should say, 17 earned, walked 14, struck out 27. So Lala, who got on and stole second, now on third, but 2 outs for Cumbo. Inside, nice stop by Womer behind the plate.
Yeah, you certainly have to be careful when Lala's at third. Any pitch that gets a little bit further behind is something that Lala can jump on, and he's got the speed to close the distance in pretty frightening speed.
Ground down into the Eckerd bullpen. Foul. Cumbo, 428, second highest batting average on the team. 479 on base percentage. 35 RBI, as you mentioned. 10 behind J.D. Urso.
Yeah, second in RBI, average, and slugging.
Ground ball. This may be a tough one. Cumbo, I think he beat it out. He did. Run scores. Andriole, I don't know if they'd have had him had he made the stop anyway. I think he beat it out.
Yeah, I think he just beat it by probably a step or so, but it also bounced maybe a couple inches too short of the glove and bounced away from Andriole, so that made the decision very easy for Shannon Jernigan over at first base. He's over the first base and infield umpire. Chase Stout is back behind home plate.
Anthony Nunez at the plate. Now there goes Cumbo. Ball gets away. He's going to stand up. Well, he could have stood up.
I'd say it's safer to slide just so you're ready when there is a throw coming into second.
Yeah. Oftentimes the shortstop will tell you to stand up, or at least signify that you're not going to get a throw. On this turf field, you get all those little black rubber pellets on you. Now a base hit could bring in another run. Spartans up 1-0. Inside again to Nunez. Nunez, switch hitter. .287 average on the year. Ground ball heading out to second base, playing in the grass. And they get it for the out. As Wyke to Andriole ends the inning. Spartans pick up a run. They got it on 2 hits. And at the end of 1 full, it is 1-0. Tampa leads Eckerd on TampaSpartans.tv. Inning we go. Alex Canny back on the mound for the Spartans. Canny on the year, the sophomore righty. This is his 12th appearance of the year, his 7th start of the year. Brings in a 4-0 record, does have a save to his credit. 42 innings pitched, 40 hits, 14 runs, 13 of them earned, walked 7, struck out 32. They always tell you to have like that 2-to-1 ratio. There's a little pop-up. Eckerd makes a nice catch, had to spin around. One pitch, one quick out as Abbott goes down.
I like seeing that defense there from Eckerd over at first base. Obviously, he's a little shorter, and first base is sometimes the position you might want to be taller to get those maybe long throws. You have a little less reach, but Eckerd's making up for that with great ability to get to balls in the field. Yesterday, we saw Eckerd making 2 great grabs on line drives hit at him, ironically, by the same hitter, Joe Muzio. The first one was an incredible diving grab, one that honestly could have ended up on SportsCenter, and the other was just a quick reach into the sky to grab, I'd say, what had to be a perfect hit off the bat.
And Cumbo makes the catch. That one cracked off the bat, looked like it might have had potential, but actually caught it well before the warning track. And Andriole goes down, brings up Collier.
I think that's the type of fly ball you need a little wind to help you out there.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have the most speed off the bat. It sounded nice.
Sounded good.
Some good contact, but yeah, it just didn't have the distance to go all the way to right field. And you do have a benefit of a slightly shorter wall there, but still very much in play for Cumbo.
Ground ball, base hit for Collier. Slaps it through first and second. So a 2-out base hit. We'll bring Erickson to the plate.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 26, Kyle Erickson.
Erickson with a .333 average.
Oh, good.
Canny with a look over at Collier. There's one blooped out into right field, but stays up enough for Cumbo to make a running catch to end the inning. So a base hit, but that's it. They leave one. We've played an inning and a half. It's still Tampa 1, Eckerd nothing on the Sunshine State Digital Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Against Valdosta.
Bottom of the second we go. Tampa up 1-0. Tampa 17-2 on the season. We were mentioning Rollins 15-3, not playing conference games this season, but played Colorado Mesa yesterday, correct?
Yeah, this weekend they're over at Colorado and took a defeat yesterday, which might be interesting to keep an eye. Tampa and Rollins are the two teams, I think, fighting for the top spot in the South region. Last year, Tampa hosted the Super Regional, and that's where, unfortunately, we lost to Rollins in 2 games. But it's looking likely this year that we'll host one of the regional sites, Rollins hosts the other. The question will be, if we make it through, who's going to be in better position to host the Super Regional with that 1-seed advantage?
Jamarcus Lyons to the plate. First pitch, called strike from Stockwell. Just missing outside.
Yesterday, 4 Spartans hitters had 3 hits. Jordan Lala, J.D. Urso, E.J. Cumbo, and Lyons. He recorded 3 hits alongside 2 RBIs.
Ground ball gets away. That's going to go in for a hit. Bounced off the first baseman's mitt. Retrieved by Gelwick, or retrieved by the second baseman who threw it in. But Lyons was able to make it. Umpires for today's game on the field. On the behind the plate is Chase Stout, and in the field is Shannon Jernigan. So that more than likely a base hit. Yes, it is a hit. Despite Andriole diving and Wyke trying to get the throw, nobody to cover though.
Yeah, Stockman just wasn't there in time to make that play, and I think Lyons would have been safe by probably a step or so.
Fouled off. Stockman sets and fires. A little bit high. Santiago Garavito at the plate.
Garavito had an uncharacteristically quiet day yesterday, went 0 for 3, although he did bring home 1 RBI.
There goes the runner, fouled off. Should mention a historic day here in Tampa yesterday as legendary basketball coach Richard Schmidt announced his retirement after 40 years as the head coach here in Tampa. One-two pitch, fouled back. 1982, the Spartans resurrected the basketball program, which had been dormant for 13 years. From the late 60s to into the 80s, they brought it back at the D2 level and hired Richard Schmidt to start the program all over again. And in his first season, won the SSC championship.
What a career, and best of luck for his retirement.
When after one outside, Garavito goes down.
I think it's always interesting to see a change of the guard in terms of sports, because Tampa's had a lot of loyal coaches over the years. I mean, take a look at Urso's tenure, over with Coach Cadnak's tenure for volleyball, and more. But also sometimes getting some new faces has led to success. Just ask our lacrosse team that went 21-0, winning our first ever national championship in J.B. Clark's first season.
Yep. So if you look at the coaching history for the University of Tampa since they resurrected basketball, it's only one name.
Excited to see who that second name will be for next season.
Yeah. One ball, one strike to Nico Saladino, the lefty. Ground ball out to second. Wyke fields it, turns one, relay in time. Double play gets him out of the inning. So the Spartans do get a hit, but nobody left. We played 2 full, 1-0, Tampa on top, right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
I pledge. I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Top of the third inning we go. Tampa 1, Eckerd nothing. Eckerd will send up 8-9-1, Wolmer, Wyke, and Gelwick to face Alex Canny. Another beautiful day here in Tampa. Gotta love the setting for this ballpark, an urban ballpark. You can see downtown Tampa in the background, a couple of the high-rise. I believe most of those are condos in left center and businesses in when you go to the right center field. Big dorm over the right field wall. What you can't tell is that the Hillsborough River separates the campus from downtown.
Yeah, some of the buildings just kind of get in the way as you look all the way back further in campus. Behind the cranes and other construction, you'll see McKay Hall, which is the honors dormitory, and there, the Hillsborough River.
Is that where you...
That's where it was for my freshman year.
Okay.
And it's, I believe, a freshman-only dorm, unless you're an RA.
Okay.
And being an RA is pretty useful because sometimes it'd be hard to get into some dorms, so that always gets you a nice spot, and it's a nice dorm. It was a fun first year there.
Okay. Wolmer takes a strike and a ball. Fouls that one off. Wolmer playing his 13th game of the year, 7th start, only has 26 official at-bats and only 4 hits. Ball way outside.
And taking a look at the lineups, Wolmer was the only change for the Tritons. They decided to give Muzio a rest for game 1 and give Wolmer the start, and he fills in behind home plate. Yesterday's catcher Erickson now plays the DH.
2-2. Ground ball heading out to Urso. Slow roller. He's going to have to hustle to throw. Double clutches. Gets him anyway.
I'll say Urso's always just calm at shortstop. He's never trying to rush throws.
Yep.
And on a play like that, that's where you might think, oh, yeah, you should really try to hurry that throw. But his arm strength is, I think, quite underrated. He can make a lot of those throws just in time.
I think the other thing he probably is aware of, I think there's one base hit out into right field, is I think he knew the base runner was not Jordan Lala.
Exactly.
He had a couple steps to get the throw there.
Center fielder Cam Gelwick.
Before we could even introduce Wyke, he gets aboard with that hit. He was one of the 3 base hitters yesterday for Eckerd. So not a surprise to get him getting a pretty good start for this game here.
Yeah. Shows bunt. Runner holds. Strike call. Ball call. I thought he offered. It was a strike, okay. Throw to first, back.
Yeah, I think they're definitely worried about Wyke, even though doesn't have as many bases stolen than his teammates. He is perfect at 3 for 3 on the season.
Shows bunt again, pulls it back. 1-1. Again, a throw. That one gets away from Earhart. Bounces all the way to the wall behind first base, or the netting behind first base. So Wyke takes second, moves into scoring position.
That's what you have to be careful for when you're trying to pick off over at first. Because that ball slips away, and now the double play opportunity's gone up in smoke.
That was a throw into the dirt. Takes away the double play. Nice pitch for a call strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Went after one upstairs and got the strikeout for the second out of the inning.
It's always good to pair that slider with a fastball directly afterwards, because if you're worried about that slider going to that low corner, you're going to be late as that fastball just screams past you up high.
So Gelwig striking out for the second time today and, fifth time this weekend. Ballard at the plate. Ground ball toward Urso. Measures the throw, and Earhart makes the scoop for the out. So no damage. And we now head to the bottom of the third with Spartans still up 1-0 right here on Tampa Spartans.tv.
And then, as long as Tampa doesn't have a horrific losing stretch to the end of the season, we've got the playoffs, the regional series, because I don't think there's any chance we fall out of the top two.
Then I noticed their last series of the season. Whoop. Bottom of the third we go. Tampa still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Danny Gutcher will lead off for Tampa. First pitch, call strike. Fouled back. .02 hole right now for Gutcher. .289 average on the year. That ball is high.
I think it's always fun when you see Gutcher at the plate against his old team. He's facing off against pitchers that he used to form the battery with alongside them.
Played his freshman year at Eckerd last year. Ball inside. So now evened up at 2-2. Jordan Lala back to the top of the order, next player to bat. Tapped foul. Stays 2-2. Two pitch on the way. Ground ball gets through short and third for the base hit for Gutcher. Gutcher's kind of solidified the catching spot. He was kind of alternating with Garavito earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think they've kind of elected to go with Gutcher's defense more often, but that doesn't mean Garavito has been starting. They like his bat enough to pretty much run him as the DH almost every game.
Yep. So Jordan Lala now with a man on as he is to the plate for the second time today. Looked at one, it's ball.
I think certainly mentioning the catcher battle between the two sophomores, Gutcher and Garavito, you're spoiled for choice if you have two great hitting catchers like the duo of them. You never really have a bad choice at catcher, and you can always plug in the other at DH if you want.
Yep, and that's what he's been doing. Ball a little low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jordan Lala.
I think he was trying to get what could have been the sinker there, maybe just a slightly harder changeup, but just couldn't get the inside corner of the plate.
Fouled off. Lala singled and scored back in the first inning. That's why the Spartans lead 1-0. 2 balls, 1 strike. Umpire correcting the scoreboard. Foul ball. Long look over. Stockman's ready. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes inside. They're not going to have a throw. And into second base. Danny Gutcher. Not often your catcher is a base-stealing threat, but there you go.
It's good to have a bit of versatility there as the catcher being able to steal. Kind of reminds me of the kind of speediness of Jason Kendall.
Yeah.
Who's a catcher who could definitely move it on the base paths a little bit too.
That was his 7th, so he's not one to stay if they want him to go. And he gets the walk anyway. So runners at first and second with no out. And Drew Eckerd coming to the plate. Just taking a look at the flagpole down the right field line. Seems to be blowing from right field to left field, so any balls hit up in the air to left field might get aided. Eckerd puts down a good bunt. They're not going to get him. Bases are going to be loaded. Perfectly placed bunt by Drew Eckerd.
That was pretty much just a copy and paste of his bunt yesterday that he used to get aboard. Perfectly placed. And now, no outs, bases loaded for J.D. Urso.
Wow.
That is not the spot you want to be in if you're on the mound,
Nope.
especially with E.J. Cumbo on deck.
Yes.
Makes it even worse.
Yep. Dangerous J.D. Urso fouls that one off. Fairly deep for him in the outfield. And the pitch. Hit out into center field. They're going to have to make a run. That's Gelwick running. Ball falls in. 1 run will score, and they're going to hold Lala up at third base, and the Spartans take a 2-0 lead. They had to wait to see if that one was going to get down. Gelwick not able to get there, just out of his reach, and it's 2-0 Tampa.
And yeah, I think that's certainly what's kind of unfortunate. You have to wait to tag up on those fly balls. Otherwise, it had a potential to really bring 2 runs home. I think if they sent Lala, he could have made it, but no reason to get too risky. No one out. It's still a perfect situation.
You bet. And Cumbo at the plate. Bases loaded again. Cumbo, curveball strike. Lala at third. Eckerd at second. Urso at first. Cumbo at the plate. Fouled off. Cumbo, 4 home runs on the year. J.D. Urso also with 4. E.J. Daskow out with injury right now with 6. As does Danny Gutcher, who just scored. Cumbo went up after that one, fouls it off. Gutcher was not really known for home run power until he had a 3-home run weekend.
Yeah, in fact, not just a weekend.
Or it was a game, wasn't it?
A
Yeah.
3-home run game. That's a really special feat for any player. And, yeah, special moment for Gutcher. It's got him in the home run race with Dosko. And his injury, his unfortunate injury, gives Gutcher a chance to take the lead.
Yeah.
But I think Dosko, if he can come back soon, will try to reclaim that crown.
Popped up, foul out of play. Dosko got hurt a couple weeks ago as he swung at a ball. It hit the bat and then ricocheted up into his eye.
Ooh.
And left the game. We were hoping it might be a bloody nose or maybe a bruise, but they said it did scratch his eye. He actually had surgery that night, and they said he's fine, but still out. 0-2. Ground ball. Base hit. We called it foul. I thought that, my eyes thought it was fair.
It looked close,
Yeah.
but at this angle, we can't tell exactly where it just goes over the line. And they had a better view, I think. It was probably Stout who made that call, I think, over at home plate, because he's looking down the baseline.
Yeah, and he was there.
So,
and it's where it lands after it hops over the base. Even if it goes over the base fair, it's still where it lands.
Yeah.
And it was just foul.
So that's unfortunate, but he's still keeping alive at the bat at least.
0-2 again. Base is still loaded. And he stays alive.
He's worked himself a 5, and maybe I think that might have been a 6 pitch in the at-bat without having even taken a pitch. He's always swung and made some form of contact with, I think, the exception maybe one of the early strikes.
Once you get in the hole 0-2, you got to be protecting the plate, and he has to this point. Here's the 0-2 again. Ground ball out to second. They may turn 2. Wyke with 1. The relay, he beat it out. Run scores, 3-0 Tampa.
So what was it you had predicted over the inning break, Jack? I think they're going to score 2 runs this inning.
Yes. Unfortunately, I said that only to the two of you sitting here, not to our audience. I said Tampa will score 2 this inning.
So you'll be hoping that your prediction is wrong as Nunez has a chance to bring home another.
I did not say 2 or more. I just said 2. You both gave me the look like, what do you know?
Maybe we got to let you cook a little more with those predictions.
I know.
You've been right.
I sensed it. Throw to first. Almost got Cumbo leaning the wrong way, but he got back. Runners at first and third. Now, don't be surprised, or I won't be surprised, if Cumbo goes and tries to get in scoring position. There's nothing. If he gets thrown out, nothing wrong with Nunez leading off the next inning.
And also, with only 1 out, that still would just be 2 away.
Yeah. There he goes. And they don't try. They let him go. So I've been around Spartan baseball too long. I know Joe's mind.
And I think the reason is just as you were if you were watching Walmer on that play, the reason he didn't throw, because Eckerd is waiting at third.
Yep.
Any throw that's not perfectly to second, Eckerd can just sneak on home
easily
and score a run. It's a great double steal that you can catch someone off guard with.
Nunez fouls that one off. Jose Jimenez fields it in the first base coach's box, throws it back.
That'd be a G11 on that play?
I think he fielded it cleanly.
Yeah?
Yeah, G, or 10. I think he's got to be 10.
Oh, yeah, 10 because you want to go left to right, exactly.
Yeah, left to right.
So if you'd miss it, that'd be the E, but that's out number 2 technically, but still 1 out on the board, of course.
Fouled off again. Spartans have fouled a lot of them off, giving Cass Street a little workout, which is the fairly major thoroughfare over the screen on the third base line. About a 100-foot fence surrounds this ballpark, trying to keep as many balls in play as you can. Major Street, third base line. Nunez, that gets under that one, sending Gelwig deep on the track or just before the track, makes the catch, and coming in is Drew Eckerd, making it a 3-run inning for Tampa, so I lied. Don't hold it against me.
The prediction was wrong in the best way.
In a good way.
We'd rather the 4-run than 3-run lead at this stage.
Definitely.
So
4-0 now, Tampa.
I'd certainly say when you're taking a look at kind of patterns in the game, the odd inning scoring streak where you go run, no runs, no runs is sometimes common, and it feels like that could be the case for the Spartans today. certainly what Stockman isn't hoping for.
Ground ball, nice field by Abbott. Throws it across and it bobbled it. Andriole had it one hop, hit him in the chest, bounced away. Another run scores as Cumbo came in from third, and it's 5-0 Tampa. And now a visit to the mound. There's no action in the bullpen. That's not necessarily the pitcher's fault. He got him to hit it on the ground, got him to field it. Throw was a little low, bounced in front of Andriole, and bounced up and hit him in the chest before he could get a glove on it.
And I think for Stockman, it's probably as well, he's maybe struggling with the fact that he's had so many deep counts and long at-bats that he just hasn't been able to strike batters out with.
Right.
And that can definitely do a number on you as a pitcher because you're thinking, what can I do to get the swing and miss?
Yeah.
And that's where you'll throw something to try to get an out and play, and all of a sudden, oh, that's a sacrifice fly. Oh, that's a grounder that leads to the error and run coming home.
We are only in the third, and he's at 60 pitches. And has one strikeout, one walk is on the line.
And like yesterday, more just getting balls in play and scoring via that rather than any lack of control, things like that.
Fly ball, center field. Gelwig turned again, now straightens out and makes the catch to end the inning. Spartans, though, put up 4 on 4 hits, and 3 hits, actually. An error put a runner on. And we have now played 3 full innings, and it is Tampa 5, Eckerd nothing. And we'll be back on the Sunshine State Digital Network. We go to the 4th inning, and it is now a 5-0 Tampa lead. I will turn the mic over to Taylor Stolworthy to hold on to this lead. Taylor?
Thanks, Jack. I've got a decent ERA coming out of the bullpen this season, and I've got a nice little cushion of run support from that big bottom of the 3rd inning. 4 runs came home on 4 hits, and Canny looking to continue his strong outing on the mound. And leading off this time for Eckerd is going to be Cox. He's 0 for 1 today. Ball 1, missing just a bit low. Certainly interesting to see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters do up for the Tritons as they look to get some offense going.
Ground ball. Oops, sorry.
The quick throw by Urso gets the first out of the inning.
Here it is again, a ground ball to Urso.
Yep, another
I'm
one.
so used to saying it today.
It feels like a lot of those balls have been going that way today. Yesterday, it was ground balls to the pitcher. That was the most common out. So that's where you would have maybe accidentally jumped in if we saw.
We need to alternate pitches, not innings. We need to alternate pitches.
Just going to go back and forth. First pitch for a strike. Now
My
back
turn?
to you.
Okay. Canny in the stretch.
That brings up Abbott, the righty. He went hitless yesterday and popped out back in the 2nd inning. And this one will be a drive to center field, but as Lala doesn't need to show much urgency, it's 2 away.
We noted that Stockman had 60-plus pitches after 3, and Canny had only 28 after 3.
And now he's at 32 as he's looking at 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. A great job to keep his pitch count down.
Well, you get through innings with only 10 pitches, you're doing the job.
And if you get through with even less, that's a great job. That's where you start to say, hey, maybe there's a Maddox on the cards.
Yeah.
Of course, the Maddox being under 100 pitches for a complete game shutout.
Yes.
I know one of the games I was calling for the NPB, as we see the field shifting very far to the right, and that kind of maybe shows you that they haven't banned the shift here in D2.
No, it's not been banned in college ranks. But can't do that in the pros. And the other thing you can't do, not only can you not shift, you have to have on the dirt.
They have to be on the dirt or the quotation marks dirt here.
The brown stuff.
Yeah. As well, even sometimes some of the fields they use grass, I think, instead of dirt, which is, I think, kind of interesting. But the grass can sometimes be a little tough to slide on. I made a sliding play, and it kind of cut up my leg.
Yeah.
Out in
you
the
played
outfield.
on that?
Yeah, I played softball. Not in this field.
Okay.
Actually, I did one game on this field. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And that is going to... We don't have to see the turf in action, as that's strike 3 from Canny. His third of the game as he's through 4 innings without a run allowed. Tampa still leads 5-0. Tampa Spartans TV, you're watching baseball, and a big Spartan lead.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters do up for the Spartans. Jack made a prediction of 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd that came true, but also came false because Tampa brought 4 home. I'll give you one prediction of my own. 1 run comes home off an RBI from J.D. Urso. Let's see if the Spartans can manufacture that run as Saladino goes down 0-1. He's 0-1 for the day, grounding out to a double play that ended the 2nd inning last time. But the Spartans have done pretty well hitting in situations with runners aboard. They're 3 for 11. Chopped, gets past the pitcher. It'll be a close play, but Saladino out by a step. The slow grounders are definitely the scariest, and really fast runners like Jordan Lala can make those plays. Lead to little bloop singles, but White is able to get to it in time. So that brings up Danny Gutcher. He got a hit, and he later scored in the bottom of the 3rd. He actually led off that inning. And here he goes facing his former team again. There's no bad blood between the two. A few of the Eckerd teammates, including Muzio and others, had visited Tampa during a rain out that Eckerd had to see Gutcher and the Spartans in action. And they've been recently catching up as well, keeping in touch over time. But it's always fun to face a friend on the field like this. And so far, Gutcher's done well to win the battle. He's 2 for 4 this weekend, and he also got aboard with a walk in the previous game. He will find himself in a 2-1 count as the slider from Stockman goes over the zone. He's going to be on his 69th pitch coming up here through 3 1/3. That's certainly a high pitch count. Wouldn't be surprised if someone stretches and tosses in that Eckerd bullpen. Gutcher now 2-2. Swung on and missed. The off-speed slider getting a big swing and miss for out number 2. That brings up Lala, who's 1 for 1 today. He also drew a walk last time at the plate. Lala takes strike one. The slider hitting the outside corner of the plate. I already mentioned over 500 on base percentage. When he gets on base, he also has that speed that can always be tough. And even though there's 2 outs already, you're facing a pretty strong performing section of the Spartans lineup. If Lala's out, you'd have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters who are combined 3 for 6 today. Lala makes them 4 for 7 as a unit. White makes the good play, tracking back into the outfield on that chopper. And this time, Stockman goes 1, 2, 3. It's a quiet bottom of the 4th as we head to the top of the 5th. Spartans still with a comfortable lead. We'll be right back.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Strike one taken. That one goes outside, and the count goes 1-1. Grounded over to third. Nunez. The throw. It pulls Eckerd off the bag, but he makes the tag as he had time to get to Collier for the first out of the inning. Throw just a little high, but Eckerd great reactions to get to it, as that brings up Erickson, who lined out to right in his previous at-bat. Chopped over to short, and a nice leaping grab by Urso. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Womer, who's 0 for 1 as well. His ground out last time was to Urso. Fouled away. 0-1. But yeah, certainly it'll be interesting to see how the race for the victory in the Sunshine State Conference Championship will go down. Rollins' final series will be against Palm Beach, Florida Southern. Solo game against Eckerd, St. Leo, and Embry-Riddle. The Spartans have a bit of an extended road stretch coming up, as they will head to Barry, then St. Leo, then Lynn to close out their Sunshine State Conference regular season. Their final season series will be an out-of-conference series at Newberry in South Carolina. 1-2 now. Kenny, one more strike to get out of the inning. Chopped, and this gets down in the outfield for a 2-out base hit. Wilmer holds up at first to bring up Wyke, who had one of the now 3 hits of the game for the Tritons. Those 3 hits were the amount Tritons had in the first game of the series. Spartans pitching was just as strong then. Slider missing for ball 1. Canny now on 45 pitches, but if he gets a quick out here, he'd still be looking really, really good. Misses low. Ball 2. Ball 3. Tampa hadn't conceded a walk in this weekend to this point. Gelwick on deck. And a pretty favorable count here for Wyke. And as he takes inside, that is the first walk Tampa has given up this weekend, and the first walk for Canny with 2 away here. Canny's had 3 strikeouts. 2 of them have come from this man, Gelwick. That's going to be hit to third and caught with a little bit of a dive by Jamarcus Lyons. Gelwick won't strike out, but he does strand 2 aboard, and Tampa holds on to a 5-0 lead. Great play in left field by Lyons to end the inning. 2-3-4 due up for the Spartans. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. Stockman's still going to go here. He's had 4 innings, 5 earned, and taking a look at the mound, I think Stockman wanted another warm-up pitch, or maybe just wasn't too pleased with Wilmer's throw to second. Earhart, Urso, Cumbo due up for the Spartans. I attempted to predict Spartans potentially scoring runs last time. Didn't work out super well. And now that'll bring up Drew Earhart leading off. Singled back in the 3rd inning. And he'd later score. Taken up high for ball 1. Well, that single was actually off a beautiful sacrifice bunt that was perfect and exceeded in loading the bases. He's going to go up 2-0 now in the count. Chopped over to first, and caught on the slide is Andriel. Good reactions to get to it. If it dropped, it probably is an out if it doesn't get away from Andriel, but it's easier to do it in air than on the ground. That brings up the Urso, who's 1 for 2 today. Brought home an RBI back in the third inning with the bases loaded. It's going to be 1-0 here for Urso. And while 7th in average, does lead pretty much every other stat line, not just for the Spartans, but throughout the Sunshine State Conference. Having an incredible sophomore season, while it is his 3rd year as a Spartan. COVID redshirt regulations had allowed him to win 2 Freshman of the Year awards. And he's worked himself up to a 3-0 count. On deck is E.J. Cumbo, and even with 1 out, I wouldn't fancy facing Cumbo with a runner aboard. The count goes 3-1 as the green light was there to take all the way. Because I think the big thing as well is Cumbo and Urso are such dangerous hitters. There's a lot of protection to really incentivize avoiding walking a batter like J.D. Urso in this spot. Takes a weird hop off of Abbott, and that throw is not going to be in time. There hasn't been perfect fielding today for the Tritons. That's been, I think, one of their larger weaknesses. Yesterday was more just well-hit balls. Here, just 1 or 2 little incidents that have caused a couple hiccups. That one was just a bounce that wasn't read perfectly. That's going to bring up E.J. Cumbo. 2 RBIs today. He's actually had 5, I believe. Let me double-check throughout the series. Yes, 5 RBIs in the series early on. Strike 1. But yeah, Cumbo's had a really strong start at the plate for the weekend series, as he might be trying to catch up on the RBI total with J.D. or so. Reached base in both at bats. Here's the 0-1. Sent over to left. Deep, but just lands in the warning track. 2 away. That'll bring up Nunez, the switch hitter. Sacrifice fly last time, bringing home a run. He's 0 for 1 in total on the day, after grounding out back in the first. Runner goes. It wasn't fielded cleanly enough by Womer. That'll be a stolen base for J.D. Urso. A good jump on the base pass to get him in scoring position. The count's going to go 2-0 here. Misses inside. 3-0 for Nunez. On deck is Jamarcus Lyons. And ball 4. He gets on with 4 straight pitches. And so with 2 outs, that's 2 runners for Lyons here. There is some activity over in Eckerd's bullpen. Stockman is on 87 pitches. If something goes wrong here, you could see a pitching change. Would be a repeat as Eckerd's starter went 4 2/3 last time. They'll be hoping he can make it through 5. Strike 1 taken up high. Lyons also brought home an RBI. That was in the 3rd inning off an error at first base. Almost ended the inning that time. Throw to second and he's safe. Both runners will go. And no throw there from Womer. They'll reach base safely, so a little risky double steal with 2 away, but works out well. Oh, 2 to Lyons, but the force out, it's over at second and third, have been removed. 1 and 2, good take up high. Actually, there was correction on the scoreboard. It's 2 and 1 rather than 1 and 2. Gets under it, and this should end the inning as the catch is made in center field. The Spartans strand 2 runners while the bats stay active. And Tampa will have to be satisfied with their 5-0 lead as we enter the top of the 6th. We'll be right back. And we're back top of the 6th. Ballard will lead off against Canny, who gets the green light, unlike Michael Paul, to keep going. He's on 49 pitches through 5 innings. Got out of a little jam in the top of the 5th. First pitch is taken for strike 1. A big difference, I think, has been Tampa has been better hitting in the clutch. In the first game, they were just about .500 with 2 outs. So they were able to really get the bats going when they were almost out of the inning. Hasn't been the case today, but they've capitalized 3 of 9 runners in scoring position and 3 of 13 when they've had runners aboard. That's better than Eckerd, where they've gone 0 for 4 with runners on base and 0 for 3 when they've been in scoring position.
You just look at that number, and Tampa's had 3 times plus times as many base runners.
Yeah. Urso with a big slide, or actually it was Nunez. I thought it had gone behind to Urso, but Nunez got in front of it and makes the throw to get Ballard out in time. One away to bring up Cox. The first 5 hitters for Eckerd combined are 0 for 13 or 0 for 11. They haven't been able to get on base, and we'll actually make it 0 for 12 if we count Ballard's most recent at-bat.
Well, you keep their top hitters off the bases, good things will happen.
And he might be able to keep their next hitter off base here, as it's sent to Lyons out in left. 2 away.
I think that was up in the sun field for a few seconds for Jamarcus, fighting that one off.
That's why it's always useful to wear sunglasses on the field, so you can try to battle the sun, and he's able to come up with it. Was also close in play for Urso as he was ranging back. That'll bring up Abbott, who takes the slider inside for strike 1. Knocking on the front door. And did he offer? No. Ball 1. Eckerd made the call over to the first base umpire for Stout behind home plate, but Jernigan upheld the ruling, saying he did not go. Hit hard to Urso. Doesn't need a double clutch. Fires it for a 1, 2, 3 inning. Canny looking really good. That's the quality start for him, as we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Spartan bats 2 up are the 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we're back, bottom of the 6th inning. We will see a pitching change here. Eckerd's going to bring on Ben Waxler, and Jack, mind getting you some of his numbers this season?
I can. The first number is that he is from Brandon, Florida. Similar to the Spartans, a lot of players from this area as well. Waxler, this will be his 11th appearance of the year, all in relief. Does have a save, 13 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, and a 4.05 ERA on the season.
Not a bad start for Waxler, one of the stronger players out of the Tritons bullpen. He was in high school a few years ago. He won an IMG Cy Young Award.
At the IMG Academy.
IMG Academy, so
which is Sarasota?
I believe so. I know it's one of the big high schools, sport high schools in Florida. And he'll get the call here. That'll finish the day on the mound. Away off the air. Garavito will lead off. Struck out and flew out. A quiet start to the series. He's hitless through 5 at-bats. But, hey, there's no time like the present to get on base. Waxler's first pitch from the bullpen. Strike one inside, apparently. That must have got the very edge of the plate because that looked very much like a ball in my eyes. Hey, I won't argue with City Hall. And Garavito's going to send this one high, but won't be far enough. Goic beats the Sun for the first out of the inning. And I think that was a little unlucky there for Garavito having to deal just with that first pitch because it definitely sets you down. You don't want to start 0-1 in the count. Got to be a little more ready to defend when you're behind. But you know what? Those types of things can happen sometimes.
Yep.
And that was certainly close. You got to remember, of course, the home plate is a 3D object. It's not just a little box on a screen.
Yeah.
It does have extra depth, so a pitch can pass through it. But even so, at least from my angle up here, it looked a little low. But yeah, sometimes you get calls, sometimes you don't. Be 2-1 now after this foul ball by Saladino.
You know, I always say umpires don't get them all right, but if you're a fielder, have you never committed an error?
Exactly. Have we ever gone without seeing an error on the broadcast?
Yeah. Well, yes, we have.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're obviously perfect, never making any mistakes. 2 away as Saladino lines out to center field.
Others have.
That'll bring up Danny Gutcher. He struck out back in the 4th inning. But yeah, to err makes us human. So it was 2-out hitting. That was Tampa's key to success yesterday. And for now, will this be playable? No, drops off the bullpen. If you look over to the right, well, actually it's a little hard to, I don't think you can on stream, but there's the bird cage, as you call it, surrounding the stadium. That's sometimes where students will be walking in transit during school hours. But not a lot of games are played during the time you'll see them pretty active with classes. It's pretty quiet here on Tampa's campus this weekend. Gutcher gets a good drive on this one. It has a chance. And see ya, a solo shot for Danny Gutcher. He hits a home run against his old team.
Gives him the team home run lead.
It does. That's his 7th of the season. Finally passing E.J. Dosco. And over there, Kenny absolutely loving it, jumping up and down with his battery mate. 2 away and a 6-0 lead. Here comes Jordan Lala.
Not a bad day for the number 9 hitter in the order. A home run, and I had a base hit earlier.
My question is, why is Gutcher still at the number 9 spot in the order?
Yeah.
He's been hitting pretty well this season.
Right.
Lala swings and misses. He's down 0-2. He grounded out in the 4th inning. If we take a look at Lala's stats throughout the weekend, it's pretty good. He's had 4 hits, and he's gotten on base quite a few times. It would take an error to get on base on this play, but Cox is under it for the final out. In the inning break, I said, hey, I predict 1 run will come home for the Spartans, and hey, it certainly did off that Danny Gutcher home run. However, other than that, Waxler kept it clean from the bullpen. Spartans do extend to a 6-0 lead as we enter the top of the 7th inning.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
We all the same
And we're back. Kenny ready to go for his 7th inning on the mound. He's only at 57 pitches. He's had a great start. And I'm going to send it back over to Jack Ike as we continue.
Just added to the lead.
Yep.
6-0 now.
Solid bullpen appearance for me.
Yeah.
No earned runs.
Yeah. And you did enough innings to get the save, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
I actually think it would be more of a... Nah, it wouldn't be a hold in this case. We got a 5-run lead.
Yeah. That was a, believe it or not, a Jeopardy question the other day, a couple weeks ago, and a coworker of mine said, "You're the baseball nerd. My husband and I could not figure this one out." And it was all on 4-letter sports terms.
Ooh.
And the question was, or the answer was something to the effect of, you don't get the win, you don't get the save, but you're in the middle of a baseball game. There's a line or two, base hit. For Andriole, you don't get the win, you don't get the save, but you come in the middle, and basically it says don't screw up or something like that. And she says, my husband and I couldn't figure that one out. And I said, hold. And she says, darn you. She didn't say darn you.
It's one of the more underrated stats, I'd argue.
And, it's relatively new, I think. There's a ground ball. Nunez, he's going to try to go to 2, does return, not in time, but got the force. He had to wait a while for that ball to get to him, and I was wondering if he would still try to turn it. He did in plenty of time.
I'll say it's great to just get the lead runner on that play.
I'm wondering if Gutcher, we can't hear it from here, gives them the word on whether to go for second or not, because Gutcher sees it all in front of him. Might have just been going 2-2-2. Erickson at the plate now.
Taking a look at the bottom 5 hitters for Eckerd, they actually do have 4 hits combined. The only one who doesn't, Erickson.
Just missing the corner there. Top of the 7th, Tampa up 6-0. 7 hits, an error. Eckerd 0 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors on the day. Fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And this is Kenny's 63rd pitch. Well, that was Kenny's 63rd pitch, so could finish up this at bat and still be on pace to be under 70.
Yeah. Just missing. Somebody did trot down to the bullpen, but since they put in this new turf on the field, they've moved the bullpen on the other side of the fence around the ballpark, so once they disappear, you can't see them warming up.
A little unfortunate because you can kind of see a little bit less for what Tampa's planning.
Oh, perfectly. Oh, what a nice play by Saladino. Throw, they're going to get him for the double play, and what a nice, uncharacteristic double play to get the Spartans out of the inning. Saladino went to second to take the throw on the runners trying to steal, reversed his field as the ball was hit to second base, got it in time, threw to Eckerd, who saw the runner who was going to second, heading for third, threw to third to Nunez, who got him out by about 10 feet.
Incredible. It's like playing chess. You see the great move marker for the hit and run because it caught Tampa off guard. It put Saladino out of position, but then 2 brilliant moves in a row. Saladino runs, gets it in a perfectly fielded play. He has enough time to get it to Eckerd, and Eckerd, he's just so happening to look to 3, fires the perfect throw, and it's checkmate on the base paths. What a double play.
I'm thinking maybe the base runner thought it was going through for a hit, because I'm not sure why he would have.
I don't blame him. I would have thought that was going through for a hit as well.
Yeah, because you saw your second baseman trying to cover for you.
Exactly. I mean, you see Saladino so out of position. There's no way you think he can make that backhanded grab in the outfield.
All right, we let you hear Take Me Out to the Ball Game as well, so we'll take a break and be back on TampaSpartans.tv. Drew Eckerd to lead off, bottom of the 7th for Tampa, still 6-zip. The Spartans up after a what was it? A 3-4-6 double play?
A 4-3-5 double play. You normally see the 3 at the end, not as the second player in the middle of those double plays.
4-3-5 double play.
That'll be fun to write on the scorecard.
With a force out at first and a tag out at third. Eckerd, who was the 3 of the 4-3-5, is at the plate.
I just love having a player like Eckerd on your team. He's so versatile. You can play on the left side of the infield, even though that's pretty much been the home of Nunez and Urso.
Right.
Plays at second, plays at first. You can go behind the plate if you want him to.
Nunez was hurt for a while, so he played third. We've seen him, behind the plate. Sure, he'd love to pitch if they gave him the chance.
I think he'd probably be good if he's just as good as he has every other position.
Pops it up. Does it stay in play? No. Fouled above the Spartan dugout. What a brilliant career Drew Eckerd has had here. A couple weeks ago, set the record for consecutive, or not consecutive, but games played in a career. Fly ball out to left, drifting. Can't see it, now makes the catch. He put his arms up. Cox put his arms up like I can't see it, but then made the catch.
Yeah, the battle through the sun, and I think as time goes, it might get a little easier to battle. And I was looking ahead on the forecast. There is a slight chance that showers could be coming through. I don't think they'd last long, but something to keep an eye on, especially if it gets a little cloudier later today. That would probably be around the time we see the second game underway. As, of course, it is a doubleheader. We're still finishing up game 1.
If you look at the shadows, and usually when I see a ball hit out that way, I look at the shadows straight into left field right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not long shadows, but get it up in the air. That one is hit out to center field, taking him back. Urso, but Gelwig comes in and makes the catch. 2 down, couple fly balls, and he'll bring E.J. Cumbo to the plate.
I'll say, when it comes to ground balls and fly balls as a pitcher, you actually do prefer more ground balls because even though fly balls, they have a better average, there's an easier chance for outfielders to catch it. Once a fly ball gets down, that's pretty much guaranteed extra bases.
Yeah.
The worst thing that comes from a ground ball is a bloop single or just a horrific error that sends a runner in a crazy position.
Cumbo sends it toward the gap, but a nice running catch by Cox to end the inning. So 3 fly balls, and the inning is over. So a nice job in relief by Waxler. Gets us out of the inning. We go to the top of the 8th. 6-0, Tampa on top. TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the 8th we go. Spartans still up. Shutout ball from Alex Canny to this point. And we've been mentioning through 7 innings, only 66 pitches. So that is just 9 and a little more per inning.
That's a great rate for Canny, as he's done a great job of keeping Eckerd's bats quiet. And while he doesn't have as much run support as Tampa was giving for their pitchers, it's still a 6-0 lead. You certainly can't complain about that.
No. But if I remember the statistics, this is still about 2.5 runs short of Tampa's average.
When you're averaging 8 runs a game.
I think they do average about 8.5 a game.
That really is almost a historic level for the offense.
I'll be honest with you, I've been doing these games for 9 years, and it's typical.
Yeah. We're blessed with the Spartans to have such a strong hitting core.
Yes. Walmer at the plate, ground ball. How many times have we said this today? To Urso for the out. That's at least a half a dozen times we've said that. The 6-3.
Yeah, Urso's been active at third base.
Nothing like terribly out of his range.
Short.
They've all been like right at him. The one that you had where he dove, but Nunez cut it off, was the only one where he really had to range, and he didn't have to make the play.
That's just sometimes the luck you'll get from those batted balls in play, because it can easily turn the other way when they're getting through the holes and dropping down for bloop singles. Coach Urso said this team could be scrappy, and they're putting the ball in play more often than not. So even though they might be losing this game here, game 2, you have to be ready because those balls just drop a different way. You could be seeing a different story.
Well, a few weeks ago when they played Rollins and Rollins took 2 of 3, that's what happened. The Spartans hit the ball hard, but nobody had to make a great effort to make the catch. They were right at them. Whereas Rollins was coming up with the seeing eye singles and the bloops and solid hitting as well, but they were also hitting gaps.
And that style of small ball is what you see in the major leagues with the Cleveland Guardians. They utilize dominant pitching from a lot of great players in their staff. And their hitters, generally more players that can put it on the ground, run it out, and convert on the base paths. Although Jose Ramirez can absolutely crush the ball from time to time, too.
Little bloop, and falls over Saladino's head. So a base hit. And we'll get White to the plate. I take that back. White with the hit. And Gelwick to the plate.
Gelwick finally avoided a strikeout for an out in the game last time with the 5th inning flyout. Because he had 2 today and a few yesterday. As he takes strike. No, he didn't go. He pulled back, I think, just in time.
There's one hit. That may be in the gap. Ranging his Lions, and he just closed the gap quickly and made the catch. Stayed up there enough for him to catch it. And again, that's just the kind of day it's been. You hit it in the gap, and they still track it down.
That's a hard hit out when you saw a little bloop single.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about baseball. You do the wrong thing, get a right result. Do the right thing, get the wrong result.
Correct. Ground ball. Nunez gets a nice hop over to Saladino for the force. And another less than 10 pitch inning for Alex Canny. And they get no runs. They did get a base hit. Left one. Or left nobody, actually. And at the end of 7.5, it's still 6-0 Tampa on top. TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Bottom of the 8th we go. Spartans will send Anthony Nunez to the plate to lead off. Jamarcus Lyons after him. Tampa up 6-0. For Eckerd. First pitch is hit deep. Does it stay fair? Gone. A home run. Stayed inside the right field line, and Anthony Nunez will trot around the bases in a 7-0 Spartan lead.
There's your home run call.
Okay, thank you.
That's Nunez's fourth home run of the season. He draws level with Urso and Cumbo.
And a 7-0 now Spartan lead. Brings Jamarcus Lyons to the plate. Ball high. You have your phone calculator with you, Taylor?
I do.
Spartans have now 303 runs in 36 games. I'm just wondering what that... I was telling you it was about 8 runs a game.
Yeah, 8.4 per game.
Okay.
They're still under the average.
That's kind of like their batting average. You're 342. There's one down the line. That's going to be extras. Heading down into the corner. Heading for it is Cox, but cruising into second is Jamarcus Lyons. Stand-up double.
And they're actually going to pinch run here.
Yep.
That'll be the day
Cadenas.
for... Yeah. And I think a good idea there. It's the last inning at the plate for the Spartans, unless Eckerd can pull off a miraculous comeback.
Yes.
And Cadenas is a great option to put at second base.
Cadenas, typically this move late in the game will move Cadenas to center and then send Jordan Lala over to left. And it looks like Adam Hunt is coming in to pinch hit. So Hunt will be the pinch hitter. I know he had a pinch hit appearance yesterday. Fouls that one off.
Quickly want to just mention, I was looking through to try to find some record books about maybe low pitch counts or Maddox type of games from Spartan pitchers, and I found something interesting. In 2013, in a game against Eckerd, there were 8 hit by pitches in an inning. It set
in an inning?
Yeah, in an inning. It set an NCAA record.
That was the year before I started doing games, so I don't remember it.
That was 10 years before I started actively doing
and
games.
And is it 8 in a half an inning, or
it says
for
just,
both at bats?
I think in an inning, but from how it's worded, I'd assume it would be Spartan hitters.
I'll have to look that one up, because you know I love sports trivia. Hunt fouls that one off, out of play. Hunt at 273 on the year. He is a sophomore from Brandon, Riverview High School. As is his teammate, one number higher, McAllister Jorgensen. Fouls that one off.
I found another piece of trivia that I'll save for the second game of the doubleheader. Okay. Stay tuned for that. But
all right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting here, and hopefully Hunt can get on base here. Hasn't had a great start to the season, but does provide a very good, strong lefty power bat.
So you're teasing us for this one.
Give some incentive for fans to tune in for the next one after this.
I would be there. 2-2 to Hunt. That is hit, but that one's going to curve foul. Pretty deep, but foul. He turned on it. Anthony Nunez started this inning with a home run down the right field line. Jamarcus Lyons then doubled down the left field line. And that's where we are with Adam Hunt on a 2-2 count. And he golfs that one into right field. They're going to send Cadenas home. He kind of trotted, and then Joe Urso pointed home, so he hustled home. I think Eckerd looked like they just conceded that one.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, you just might as well. I mean, you don't need to absolutely go too crazy there, and it probably would have been close, but with a runner like Cadenas, you're not going to be able to beat him on that way home.
Yeah. And a visit to the mound. Nobody throwing in the bullpen, so this is just a pep talk.
And I think at this stage, Eckerd just checking in to make sure Wexler isn't too tired. He's on 31 pitches. Realistically, they're just going to want him to keep going, keep fighting, and save the rest of the bullpen for the final game in case they need to get crazy. And also, Eckerd have a middle week game coming up, they want to make sure they haven't burned out everyone at that stage. Tampa can afford to in the next game if they have to, because their next game will be against Barry on Friday.
I know typically when the Spartans get that midweek game, I know they played Valdosta a couple weeks ago, which was a crazy game up at Valdosta.
Oh, I saw the scoreline.
16-15, I think it was. Joe will give a pitcher who doesn't pitch often a chance to get out there and show his stuff. He usually goes with the traditional starting lineup, but not afraid to make changes as the game goes on, no matter what the score.
And I think it's always useful to get those younger players or players that don't have a lot of opportunities some chances, because sometimes you'll find something that really works. And also get some experience for the next few seasons.
Yep.
Because, of course, those are the players the program's going to be relying on.
And you never know about injuries. You want to know who's
exactly
got some innings under their belt. Saladino at the plate, man on first. And first pitch is low. Is action now in the Eckerd bullpen. Ball high. A little low on the first pitch, a little high on the second one. 2-0. Bottom of the eighth. Tampa now up 8-0. And this one's outside. 3-0. On deck is Gutcher. So he goes low for the first pitch, high for the second pitch, outside for the third pitch, and inside for ball 4.
He's getting all 4 sectors, but just
none for a
not in the zone. Yep.
Gutcher, 6'1", 180. Yet now has the home run lead for Tampa. Not that it's a huge number, but he just does not look like a home run hitter. 6'1", 180. Nice stop by Woolmer behind the plate.
I'd argue when it comes to home run and light tower power, you could argue the same for E.J. Cumbo.
Yeah.
He's had 4 this season, including, I know, that towering walk-off at the start of the season. And, yeah, he doesn't look like the type of guy who can hit it far, but he's one of the hardest hitters in the Spartans.
Right. Doskow, who looks like a home run hitter,
is one.
Hits home runs.
And I think right now he's under the team batting average, despite being .330.
But if you look at baseball players from the past, which is my era, is, guys like Ernie Banks, even Hank Aaron were not big, powerful people. Yet 500, 600, 700 home runs. Little backhand stop by Woolmer. Willie Mays, 600-plus homers. It's all the swing.
Yeah. And good mechanics can really give you that. It certainly helps to be large.
Sure.
I mean, that'll give you a little bonus for home runs, but looks can also be deceiving. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, while he's the hardest hitter in baseball, weirdly enough, he's more known for his 120-mile-an-hour line drives off the bat that managed to leave the yard.
Right.
Or go down into, double plays, which is what his hardest hit ball record was for a little while until O'Neill Cruz broke it.
Popped up out of play.
But just imagine the hardest hit ball for a while in MLB history was a line drive grounder for a double play.
Oh, jeez.
That's
What'd you say, 120?
Yeah, 120, 122, I think, off the bat. And they're using wooden bats. They don't have the extra advantage of metal.
Yeah. That could be dangerous.
That certainly
at
would
that
be.
level.
Yeah.
Ball outside, walk, so the bases are loaded. And I think we may have a pinch hitter for Jordan Lala.
That'll also be a change for Eckerd. Those 2 walks are going to be the day for Waxler.
Is it TJ Palma coming to the plate?
It is. Okay. Palma also pinch hit for Lala yesterday's game, too.
Sophomore, Pleasantville, New York. Pitching change coming up, so we'll take a quick break and be back and let you know who's in and what he's facing right here on TampaSpartans.tv. New pitcher coming in for Eckerd is number 15, and it looks to be Ryan Swartz. And this will be just his second appearance of the season. Has only pitched 1 inning to this point, and has an ERA of 0.
Certainly say a kind of tough spot to enter as a pitcher. You're only one inning pitch this season, and now you have to inherit a bases-loaded spot with no one out.
Is a 6'4" sophomore from Sarasota, tall. And he will come in with no outs and the bases loaded. Not entirely a pressure situation because you're trailing 8-0, so it's not like he's trying to get a hold and see if that he gives his team a chance in the next inning.
Yeah, it's more just to try to keep the damage at an absolute minimum.
Yeah, and show your coach you're ready to get on the mound.
Exactly. If he's able to get out of the jam here, he'd certainly get a lot of credit and probably get a little bump up on the reliever depth chart.
TJ Palma coming in to pinch hit. Looks like Joe Urso's making wholesale substitutions as he has McAllister Jorgensen on deck for Drew Ehrhardt. Way high. Does he try to score? Here comes Adam Hunt to the plate, and he scores. As unfortunately, the first pitch is about 12 feet high.
Yeah, just a bit outside that time from the bullpen.
Yep. Not the start you wanted. So now runners on second and third in a 9-0 game. That'll move Saladino to third and a pinch runner. And that's a fly ball. May try to tag. Joe Urso waits into catch. Cox, here comes the runner. And he's going to score, and the Spartans now lead. Got it to double digits, 10-0.
And taking a look, congratulations, Palma. That is your first official RBI on the sacrifice fly. And if they count it off the wild pitch, it would make 2 in the single at-bat. So 1 or 2 now for his career total as a Spartan. Congratulations.
McAllister Jorgensen being signaled in as the pinch hitter.
He worked a walk in his pinch hit appearance last time.
Middleman is at second base, number 43, Ryan Middleman. a sophomore from Valencia, California.
Middleman was brought in, I think, with a change because
Gutcher. So he's listed as a catcher, so I'm thinking maybe he'll replace Gutcher.
He's going to come in and replace Gutcher because Gutcher was pinch ran for separately.
Or an earlier batter, right?
Yeah, because while he comes in for I was overthinking things. I thought the runner had gotten aboard, but no, just kind of got lost for a second.
You know what? With all these changes, we'll just wait and see what happens. Who goes where?
It's better just to wait till the bottom of the inning top of the next inning.
Sort it out there.
Yeah.
1 out, Jorgensen at the plate. Ball high. Jorgensen, 231 on the year. This is only his 12th at-bat. And his 12th game of the year. Fouls that one off. On deck is Matthew Engel, a freshman from Orlando. That one's inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Walked him, so Matthew Engel will come to the plate with runners at first and second.
And this will be exciting. And what number is Engel? 28. Oh, no, so it's Fogel at the plate.
Did I mispronounce it?
Yeah.
Why did I come up with Engel? Fogel.
Yep.
Sorry. Matthew's parents are at home. Matthew Fogel.
As we were talking about, commentators, sometimes not perfect as well.
No. And that was just operator error, not reading small font and imagining what he wanted to imagine.
Yep.
Fogel.
Certainly be cool if he was some of the hitting prowess of Adam Engel, the MLB player. He's going to take ball 1 here.
This is going to be just his 3rd at-bat of the year and his 3rd game. His parents were at home going, "It's Fogel, it's Fogel." It's my son. Two balls, no strikes. Ball 3. So Swartz has had a little difficulty. His first pitch was about 12 feet high and allowed a runner to score, and has kind of struggled to find the strike zone early. And a 4-pitch walk to Fogel. And we'll have another pinch hitter. And this is who I saw at Subway earlier today, Luis Rodriguez.
That's fun. You can bump into him there. But yeah, excited to see Rodriguez get a plate appearance here.
Hour before the game, guy standing in front of me with a Tampa shirt on. I'm like, "What sport do you play?" And he says, "Baseball." And I said, "Don't you have a game in an hour?" And he goes, "Yes." And I said, "So do I." But they probably need you more than me.
True. Team Subway, we'll see how we can convert at the plate. You know what sandwich you ordered?
All I know is he ordered so much and wanted it double toasted. I've never heard of double toasted. That I, even though I was after him, and he gets a base hit. That'll bring in 2 runs, and it's going to be a 12-0 Spartan lead. Play coming to third, sliding safely. His safe at second base as well. So Rodriguez able to turn it into I think it'll go down as a double, taking second base.
A toasted double with 2 RBIs.
All I know is it took him so long to get it toasted and all the stuff that I checked out before him.
But that helped fueled him up for that play. And it's maybe a little hard to tell from the camera angle, but he made an incredible move to slide into second.
Yeah, he did.
Really doing a good job to evade the tag because the throw got in about step, as if you can call it that, since he slid in head first on the play. He had to do a little bit of acrobatics to dodge the tag, and did so brilliantly. Reminded me of Javi Baez in the MLB. He had a couple of really nice plays in the World Baseball Classic over the winter.
Let's see who this is. Another pinch hitter. It's number 6, Parker Schlichty. Batting for Nunez. And that one's out into right field, but has room. Is Collier makes the catch, throw in, but heading to third is Rodriguez standing up. So we're down to 2 outs. Another runner in, and it's 12-0.
That brings us all the way through the order as Cadenas, who came on as a pinch runner earlier, will now get a chance to plate.
The good thing is he gets an at-bat.
Yes, that's the big thing. That's to say for Rodriguez and Cadenas, 2 of the pinch hitters and players we've seen. They're some of the first guys you'll see off the bench in general. Rodriguez being the top infield and maybe sometimes outfield depth. And Cadenas, he's played, I think, in a majority of the games this season, coming on late.
Yeah, Cadenas, 323 average. This is his 34th game. It's Tampa's 36th. But just his 32nd at-bat of the year. Two balls, no strikes, 2 out. Tampa now up 13-0. Was it not long ago you were saying, well, they're not quite to their average for a game?
They're about to get the average in just one inning as well.
Yeah. It was 5-zip to start the inning, wasn't it?
6, actually.
Yeah.
But they've already doubled the run total.
So a 7-run bottom of the 8th. Ground ball. Charging from third, Abbott in time. Inning is finally over for Eckerd. Spartans pick up 7 runs in the inning on just 4 hits. Bunch of walks. Nobody left on, or 1 man left on, so we'll go to the top of the 9th. Tampa up 13-0 on TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the 9th we go, a pitching change for Tampa. And you got the number, right? Who do we have?
Number 23. It's
Paul
going
Sullivan?
to be, Paul Sullivan. He's had a 1.61 ERA in 22 innings. He had 1 start, but he's mainly been an ace from the bullpen.
We'll see if we can get you all the fielding changes. So Sullivan on the mound. Middleman is behind the plate. Fogel is at first. Jorgensen at second. Schlichty is at third. Saladino stays in but goes to short. Palma is in left. Cadenas is in center. And Luis Rodriguez is in right. And the first batter is Cox, who has an 0-for-3 day going.
It's a little disappointing to see Canny's day end here, Canny's day end here, but that certainly was Canny's decision. He had been doing really well. 76 pitches would have certainly been a lot to try to complete the Maddox in that inning, but they'll make the change. And
the Maddox is a complete game.
Yeah, 100-pitch complete game or sub-100-pitch complete game, popularized by the man who did it quite often, Greg Maddox.
Yeah. So he'd have had 24 pitches to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But, as you said, it was his decision. There's a base hit. Falls in front of Rodriguez. Does he try to turn? No, he stays. Rodriguez throws it in. Abbott to the plate now. Inside.
I think the big difference here, you don't see any pinch hitters for Eckerd in the spot, mainly because, they're going to hold on to that slim chance of trying to just get some offense going.
Yeah.
And if they can score a late run, it would be good to try to build morale.
Just some momentum, yeah.
Although the problem is the Spartans scoring 7 runs does wonders for their momentum, too.
Yeah. That's a downer on that side for Eckerd. There's a fly ball. Rodriguez drifting over to his right, makes the catch in the outfield. One up, or one down, I should say, here in the ninth.
Now batting is the first baseman, Jake Andriol.
We have another game coming up after this, about a half hour. They always say a half hour. This game zipped along. We're only at 3:10. We're 2:10 into this game. But you had a quick game yesterday, too, with 17 hits, and we've got a quick game here with 11 hits, 13 runs, a lot of walks. That looked good. Strike call. Andrioli waits, and the pitch. Ground ball, fielded by Fogel, steps on the base, 2 down, 1 more out to go.
In a closer game, you might have seen him try to get the lead runner out at second, but no need, just get one of the 2 final outs you need.
Yep.
I think as well, Coach Joseph would rather keep the safe play and get 1 out than risk a missed throw and get 0 outs.
Nice heads-up play, though, will go unnoticed, except by me, by Parker Schlichty at third base, is he had drifted over toward second with the ground ball and then realized that as he was there, the runner on second had an unattended third base, and he quickly hustled over there. He had kind of drifted out towards shortstop position. Strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out. Collier at the plate, 1 for 3 day. Fly ball. Drifting back for it is Palma. Ball game. Tampa with the 13-0 win over Eckerd in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. For the Spartans, they get 13 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. And Eckerd, no runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. The Spartans go to 29-7 on the year. And if you're scoring at home, a chance for a 30th win of the season in the nightcap coming up in about 30 to 45 minutes. As Eckerd falls to 5-12 on the season and 16-17 on the year. Alex Canny will get the win. Spectacular pitching. Gives up no runs and pitched only with 76 pitches in 8 innings of work. So, Taylor, we got another one coming up.
Yep, and if you take a look, a technical combined Maddox, Sullivan needed 14 pitches for that final inning. The Spartans staff had only 90 in the entire game. Compare that to 91 from the losing pitcher, Stockman. He did complete 5 innings with 5 earned. It was the bullpen that allowed a few more runs to come home from the Spartans. As the Spartans win the series with Game 2, they have a chance to sweep later this afternoon.
That'll be coming up in 30 to 45 minutes, so just stay tuned and we'll have it then. So for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying join us for Game 2, coming up a little later this afternoon right here on TampaSpartans.tv.